It was I had it about 5 years, and it was about the size. It was a little bigger than a golf ball. It was huge. It was a huge hail ball. But here's the thing about that stuff: they even in the freezer they still melt down. Like the time I got rid of it, it was smaller than a golf ball, and it was bigger than a golf ball when I had it, and it never came out of the freezer. But just over time, they lose something. So I wonder how that thing must have been huge. But to get $15,000, that's ridiculous.
I don't know. Don't go trying it at home, people. I can't guarantee you're going to win or get $15,000 from a snowball. But it was rather interesting, to read about that. Now, the strange news I've been telling people about bees for the last 2 years. Yep. I've been telling people because of the magnetic field, the earth changes and all this stuff. That's why we're having the bee die-off. Bumblebees, honeybees, and all that stuff. And now scientists are saying it's caused by two things, global warming and the magnetic field shifting. They're just getting lost in the wind.
Yeah, I believe that magnetic field is responsible for a lot of things being messed up. Birds, migrational habits, and other animals too, and wildlife. But definitely bees. And people don't realize how important bees truly are to mankind. They do a lot. Just by spreading that pollen, it's a domino effect of what how important they are to us.
Well, just remember that one show with Charleston Heston.
Uh-oh.
Remember I always make fun about Soylent Green?
Yep.
But you remember at one point he comes up to what's his name, Robinson, and he, offers him a lick the spoon that had jam on it.
Yeah, it was a delicacy because they didn't hardly ever get it. They didn't have. Matter of fact, it wasn't at the end of the day they got to go in a room and watch video of what the Earth used to look like with woods and trees and birds.
And all that stuff. But you know what? I think it was a day or two before that. But what has happened is because of what happened with the world, the war and all that stuff, and society, food and all this stuff, and not having trees and all this lush stuff we had, there was no bees to make honey. Then there was no jam because, plants wouldn't pollinate. So, right. I mean, just to have, a little, the taste of what jam tasted like had to be the greatest taste in the world.
Yeah, could you imagine how much that would go for? That would be way more expensive than caviar.
Well, I'm sure. Even caviar at that. But not Soylent Green. They were giving out Soylent Green free. Well, you know what? In Italy, in an Italian town, if you move to it, they'll pay your rent for 3 years.
Wow, sign me up. If it's in Sicily, I can probably get by a little bit, but this sounds like it's in the main boot. That is amazing. They must be looking for some people.
I don't know. How about, you know how many people are building secret rooms in their new houses?
No, how many?
A lot. A lot. A lot of people are having, rooms in case somebody breaks in or something happens, they can go into this room and be safe. Because no one will know.
It's a good idea.
No one will know that you're in there. They don't even know that room exists. And it's very popular right now.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I love that idea because safes and wall safes and people always find them. But if you could got a secret passage where nobody can tell it's there, that's a great idea. Who cares if you got to stand straight up for an hour or two till they're gone? But at least you're going to be safe.
No, these rooms actually are pretty good sized rooms. It's just, a good sized room. The wall opens up or does whatever it does, and they just go in there and wait out till the intruders are gone.
Yeah, that's amazing. I always thought that was a great idea. I always watched them shows. You probably watch the same ones I do, where they always got these hidden passages and secret rooms, and I always thought that'd be a great idea for, like you just said, for safety.
Oh, yeah, especially the way society is. Anyway, you notice I've calmed down since the beginning of the show.
Yes, that's good. That's good because we're going forward.
Well, you might be. I'm just going that way.
You're in for the ride, buddy. Hold on, buckle up.
Yeah. Well, everybody buckle up. Tonight, again, Larry Hardren. We're going to be talking about what it's like to be a DEA agent. What's all involved and all that stuff. And then we're going to get into his 2 books and all that stuff. So it's going to be a good show tonight. A little bit different, but you know what? It's going to be interesting, and that's what talk radio should be.
Right. And I don't know if he did any work down the border along that couple of cities there that have that on each side that have the cartels and the drugs coming in. But boy, there's so much going on. So many people getting killed. It's mind blowing.
I know. I have some friends that live in Mexico. You know, I guess depending on where you're at in Mexico, it's a lot safer. In Mexico City, I would never want to live. And I wouldn't want to live on the outskirts because that is really dangerous. But there's some areas that's really safe, and a lot of people, Americans, go there because they can live off their pensions quite comfortably. They can have nice food. They got a maid there, and a cook and all this stuff. And they can do it on like less than $2,000 a month. So, I mean, you can, it's a way to go. A lot of people go to Argentina and all these other places because you can actually live on $1,000 a month very comfortably.
Yeah, I think the last thing I read, it was something like $15 a day. You could live good down there. I mean, on the average.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you're living in a nice villa and all that stuff.
Right. And most of the time it's a tropical climate. So, and most of the areas there anyway, it's nice most of the time, like Florida, basically.
Yeah. Except for one problem.
Don't drink the water.
No, snakes and spiders.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they definitely got the snakes and the spiders. And I tell you, they got some big sharks, great whites out there, too, especially on the western part.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, we'll be back in about 2 minutes with James Kirschbaum doing their news. And then Larry Hardren will be our guest. So stay tuned to Night Dreams Talk Radio.
Dreams Talk Radio Network brings you the World Paranormal News with James Creechbaum. Now, the latest news.
This is Night Dreams Talk Radio Network News, and I'm James Creechbaum. Newly leaked Bigelow Aerospace documents prove Pentagon investigated UFOs and paranormal phenomena. The entire saga of the U.S. military's modern investigations into UFOs has been clouded in confusion, which has enabled the Pentagon to avoid actually answering the real question: is there something weird going on or not? Since the story of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program broke in 2017, the Pentagon's story has gone from acknowledging that ATIP investigated unidentified aerial phenomena to saying they have nothing to do with UAPs at all. Now, this week, however, Popular Mechanics reported that they had obtained leaked documents dating to 2009, which show that not only did ATIP investigate the UFOs, but they also investigated them as a possibly otherworldly or interdimensional phenomena and continue to do so beyond 2012. Furthermore, ATIP took an interest in the paranormal phenomena at Utah's famed Skinwalker Ranch with an interest in harnessing whatever's going on there for defense purposes. Real ghost stories of the Hilton Netherland Plaza in Cincinnati. While she has been seen throughout the hotel's existence, the Lady in Green was most active during the early 1980s when the hotel was closed for 2 years to restore an ornate decor that had been covered over during the 1960s. In more recent years, there was a server delivering room service that was sharing an elevator with a pleasant woman in a green dress. Their conversation was going just perfectly until he turned away for a moment, only to look back and find no one was there. Huge, bright object recorded over Lake Mary, Florida on February 17, 2020. Here's the witness report. Observed an orange star-like object driving into work on Lake Mary Boulevard. Stopped at the traffic light on Lake Mary Boulevard and Lake Emma and witnessed a star-like orange object, so I decided to record it, not realizing that there was an object above it with all kinds of lights. A long cigar shape was above the lake, now above Lake Mary, and decided to get my camera and started recording to see if I could find an object, and I got it on my camera. Then I saw another object to the bottom right, plus the orange one and cigar one, which was high. Then, all of a sudden, the object, the green, appears above the cigar object and beams down at something in the ground and then disappeared. I continued to record until I had to go into work. Mystery 10-foot creature darker than the night leaves dismembered deers on the road. A man claims he saw a 10-foot creature darker than night that left deer legs scattered across a busy road. Witness goes on to say, I thought it was a ghost at first. He could see it had humanoid form, but it was darker than night, and it just moved across the road. We went back there the next day, and there was a hole in the bottom of the hedgerow, so something could have crossed there. Fossils of a human-sized rat with a tiny, tiny brain discovered in South America. Paleontologists have discovered the well-preserved skulls of 2 mega rats, the sizes of humans, and living 10 million years ago in what is now western Brazil. And they estimated that these rats weighed 180 pounds. SpaceX and a new bid to send tourists into space. The space firm is expanding into the space tourism sector with plans to send tourists as early as 2021. Up to 4 people will be selected to launch into space in what has been described as an opportunity to break the world altitude record for private citizen spaceflight.